What is Spider-Man's top web-swinging speed in Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4?
Your views are mine. I am nowhere near as good at that as Kari Tagawa. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special impromptu video on the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and literally 15-20 minutes ago, they dropped the NetherRealm dropped the Mortal Kombat 11 Combat Pack trailer showing off Shang Tsung's gameplay, which is super hype and has me super excited because there's other stuff in there I want to talk about too. But before we get into it, I just want to check something. It's not so bad. I want to try keeping my glasses on because I can actually see, but if the reflection is too bad, let me know and I'll take these off. But without further ado, what I'm just going to do is I got the trailer loaded in Premiere, and we're just going to kind of go and analyze it to the best of my abilities. So if I do that, there we go, and here we go. I wouldn't have expected anything less from a Mortal Kombat game than at least those three. Ooh, I like the new look. Hopefully the old skin is, I really hope that the old skin is an option, because I've honestly really liked old Shang Tsung's look. A little bit more than the young Shang Tsung, but regardless.
I will torment you for eternity.
Do your worst, Shang Tsung.
And now taste of things to come.
Very menacing. I'm really happy that they got this guy back, not just because of the whole nostalgia of him being the thing in the Mortal Kombat movie from back in 1995, but the way he's delivering it here, it is so menacing. I just enjoy that. On to gameplay.
Fight!
Okay, so here's the first strike. It's a... That looks like it could be a low or a mid into either another low or another mid. That is definitely a mid, based off of how it looks. There's a straight fireball, classic Shang Tsung fireball. We see this again, so I believe this is part of his base loadout. Now, oh, there's big boot. That's probably, which leg does he do that with? That's probably forward 3, considering it's the leg towards us that is hitting. Raiden? Yeah, sorry if I'm saying a lot. You know this is not scripted. This is where we kind of lost our shit when we first saw this. So, quick high into a low, into a mid. Boom! He turns into Rain. He turns into Rain in his in a classic MK2 style attire. You'll be seeing a lot more of this. And he's holding this pose. I thought this was a block state, but no, he's... Boom! That is his classic roundhouse where he meter burns it. Looks like in order to get more recovery, or enough recovery shaved off, words, in order to get it down too. Blocks that, goes into a mid. That kind of looks like Hell Sparks. Boom. Into a pop-up, so I'm just going to kind of go back. Boink, boink. So, 1, 2, 3. Just like that. That could be a pop-up. So that looks like a sort of soul stomp of some kind. Oh, that into crazy soul manipulation strings. That looks super cool. And then, okay, there's the next one. This is, and I'm noticing a trend here too. This is Smoke's parry from Mortal Kombat 9. He would do this, and he would be immune to projectiles and counter zone. This actually was the only move in the entire game, besides Kratos' Golden Fleece, that could parry Shao Kahn's hammer. So you could use it to just get past the hammer and drop down on the opponent's head. Into Ermac's Soul Grab. This is not... The animation here is not MKX. This is distinctly MK9. because of how he lifts the opponent and then brings them down. It's not the same where he does cha, hua, bam. It's just cha. So they're taking a lot of MK9 sort of theming here. So were those kicks always two highs? I don't remember. So he goes for a throw. Well, what's that? What is that? Excuse me for just a second. Pause resolution is full. Actually gonna pull up my effect controls really quick, the benefits of doing it in Premiere. I want to see what that is. It looks like some sort of scroll or talisman of some kind. That, I think it's a scroll, and he causes that little explosion type thing to kick in. Okay, moving on. So that's part of his throw, which reminded me a lot of Scorpion's throw from Injustice, his back throw specifically. So here's the skulls again. So we got one fireball, second fireball, and then that one's a mid. That crushing blows. If I had to wager a guess, that's probably either a counter or punish at full screen in order to get that to be a crushing blow. So that's a short hop attack. I'm just going in kind of slow-mo. Oh, here it is. This is what really got me excited. Boom. That is probably a mid, could be a high, but it's Soul Steal, where he steals your soul and turns into you. It wouldn't be Shang Tsung without this move. He can mimic your moveset and, as you'll see later on, even crushing blows.
Your soul is mine.
And he says, your soul is mine. So now he has access to Raiden bullshit. And that's interesting. That is interesting, because that is Raiden's electric fly combo, but it's crushing blow, but it's landed in a combo. I don't think you can actually do this with Raiden's crushing blow as of right now. I'll probably put a correction here if you can, or not. But let's move on. Back into it. So it's one combo. That was a sweep. That was a sweep earlier. Another sweep that doesn't use limbs. It's just a no hurt box sweep of fire claws. Blocks the, I'm guessing that's up 3, to go into... That is probably not a true overhead. I want to count the frames. So, okay, so bear in mind he just came out of block 2, so it's tough to know for sure. So let's see. So starting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I downloaded this at 60 FPS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so it is 17 frames, 17 to 20 frames. It could be an overhead, but it might be a mid. Into a low, into this really cool, let me scrape the ground and fire punch you in the face. Okay, that's another scroll he pulls out. Dropping... Is that meat? That's either meat or a random flesh pits thing. Ooh, nasty. Nasty, nasty explosion. Okay, and now we got Reptile. So here comes Reptile in his classic MK2 look, including the human skin. So he comes in, sweep, meter burns it into the double kick. So this is MK9 slide. This is the MK9 Reptile slide. It's not the MKX one where he goes really fast and trips you up. This is MK9 Reptile slide. And then he goes... Okay, so there's smoke again. But that time it countered the physical attack like it could with meter burns. Twitter's blowing up. I should probably have shut this off before I recorded. Okay, so he goes into rain. Okay, so he spent 2 bars on this. Okay, so this whole combo was completely illegal, I think, because it looks like he spends 3 bars. I'm pretty sure he spends 3 bars doing this. Yeah, he does. So he spends 3 bars. 2, 3. And this is what confirmed that these are all MK9 movesets. Watch how he meter burns. Back and forth, just like MK9, but with a big pop-up this time. And look at that, in one combo, he turned into 4 separate ninjas. So that was, if you couldn't tell, it was Smoke, Rain, Ermac, and Reptile. I forgot who it was for a second. I forgot the ninja. And then in he goes into Fatal Blow. So, boom, he turns into Sub-Zero, classic Sub-Zero. Boosts you back, turns into the classic Scorpion, does something sick, and then turns into classic Noob for the finish. So, in that whole sequence, we saw 7, I'm pretty sure we saw all 7 classic ninjas in Mortal Kombat history in that one sequence. That is awesome. And now for the fatality. Okay. So, yeah, see, as soon as I realized where the arms were, I knew this was some kind of Shokan. I thought it was Goro at first. But then I realized Mortal Kombat 2 is a thing. That's not Goro. That's frickin' Kintaro. Kintaro appearing in a fatality is just such a beautiful callback to Mortal Kombat 2.
Fatality. Shang Tsung wins.
Now for the moment you've all been waiting. One of his outros.
Your soul is mine.
Your soul is mine. Okay, so now because this is a combat pack trailer, we actually get a sneak peek as to who's coming next. And this is important because some of these are names are characters we've not had playable in 8 years, and a character that has been highly demanded for just as long, if not longer. Shang Tsung is first. Now, I believe this is actually in a potential release order, so Nightwolf could actually be next. I'm really excited about that because Nightwolf is my favorite character in Mortal Kombat 9. And then we get the Scream Queen Sindel. And then we get the one guest everybody could agree was actually coming in. There's still anti-guest sentiment, but just about everybody could agree Spawn was a long time coming. Oh yeah. So happy that that's happening. But then we get a tease for 2 guests here. And I'm actually going to turn up the volume a little bit specifically so that I can maybe pick up on it, maybe see what that might be. So hopefully it's not too loud. Well, that pretty much confirms my suspicions. First off, we're going to listen to the first little bit again. That's a chainsaw. Now, I mean, you didn't need me to tell you that, but the reason why I bring it up is that we already had a chainsaw-wielding character in MKX. His name was Leatherface, and guests are always one-time affairs. There's never been a guest character that has shown up in a fighting game more than once, unless you count Smash Bros. As guest character, like a guest ensemble thingy. But I don't count Smash Bros. And I don't count PlayStation All-Stars, so I don't count ensemble games. So the only other really popular character who wields a chainsaw, the word's escaping me. He had this word he would always say. What was it again?
Groovy.
Oh yeah. That's almost certainly Ash Williams. And before you say, but he himself deconfirmed it, he had a graphic and everything. Well, we know that people have deconfirmed things before only for them to pop up again. So I'm inclined to believe that that was just a cover in order to cover up the fact that people were talking about his potential inclusion in the game and he denied it, but come on, unless there's somebody else with a chainsaw, but I can't think of anybody. Now it's this last bit that really caught my attention. Listen. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It, to me, sounds a hell of a lot like it might actually be the Terminator, who's the second guest, because they don't say them outright because they want to build the mystery, but they played it a little too close, I think, with the hinting. But then again, they could have if they had a certain word pop up. Groovy. Yeah, that one. That would have confirmed it for sure. At least with the chainsaw, there's a little bit of doubt. But that music cue sounds very similar to that of the Terminator theme that has kind of become famous over the years. Have a listen, and then we'll compare. Sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? So, it looks like our combat pack, which we finally know the details for, is going to be Shang Tsung on June 18th for early access, which means anybody who did not get the combat pack is going to get Shang Tsung on June 25th. Nightwolf will then probably follow not long afterwards, then Sindel, then Spawn, and then 2 more characters that we don't know about. Those 2 characters most likely being Ash Williams and the Terminator. Probably the T-800, and there's a half-decent chance it's actually voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just saying. So, that is my overall analysis. Also, skin and gear for each DLC character and 19 additional skins. And I think we just saw 3 of them right here. Boom. There. We just saw them right here. So here's 3 of them. The classic arcade ninja skins. So, I mean, we already had OG Ninja Scorpion, but it's nice to see that Noob and Sub-Zero will get their classic skins in proper vogue as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Who are you the most hyped for from the combat pack? Don't be afraid to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, don't forget to be awesome.
1,000 boots down on the ground.